Part 3, Chapter 7. It was after 8 when I woke up Saturday morning. I dressed quickly and then I walked over to the marina office. When I reached it, the closed sign was still hanging in the window. I looked at my watch. I had to wait 40 minutes. I walked up and down the marina, looked at my watch every 5 minutes. Finally, 10 minutes after his office was supposed to open, the fat guy's silver Acura pulled into the parking lot. He struggled to get out of his car, and he set his car alarm. I came up behind him. When he turned and saw me, he started, fear on his face. Once he registered that it was me, the fear turned to anger. Don't ever do that again. You hear me? We need to talk, I said. Later. I've got to go to work. When? Is this really necessary? Yes. Okay, 6:00. He brushed past me. Where? You know the overflow parking lot above the Golden Gardens? I know it, I said. He nodded. There's a path that leads to an open area above the railroad tracks. I'll meet you there. The day dragged. At 3, when the clouds cleared and the sun came out, I did my daily run. The red package was tucked away in the rocks, just where I'd seen the man from the train put it the night before. I stuffed it into my backpack, jogged back, and shoved it in the storage nook beside all the other packages. I counted them. There were 12. I walked back up the ramp and took a long shower, but after I dressed, it was still only 5:00. I'd decided to kill the last hour by heading back to the beach. Little kids were flying high on the swings in the playground. Parents were laying out tablecloths and lighting up barbecues. On the grassy fields just past the picnic area, old guys flew fancy kites. At the teen center, a group of kids around my age were sitting with their backs to me, facing Puget Sound. Winter was over. I kept walking all the way to the wetland ponds, where I stopped and looked up at the decks on the bluffs above the beach. Melissa was probably sitting out on one of them. I could picture her sipping a Coke while she listened to music and talked with her friends about colleges and careers. I backtracked to the short tunnel that leads to the overflow parking lot. I paced the lot a couple of times, looking for a trail the fat guy had described. Finally, I spotted it. I pushed aside a couple of blackberry bushes and hiked about 50 yards to a clearing near the railroad tracks. Within a couple of minutes, the fat guy came puffing around the bend, his face red. All right, he said as he came up to me. You wanted to talk, so talk. I swallowed. I'm quitting. His red face got redder. What are you talking about? You can't quit. Well, I am. This is your notice. 3 more weeks and I'm done. His eyes flared. Is this because the cops were on the piers? That was routine. They're not on to you. I'm not quitting because of the cops. I'm quitting because I want to quit. And who am I supposed to get to take your place? I don't know. You'll find somebody. You found me, didn't you? Some of the anger left his face. He looked up to the railroad tracks toward Edmonds. You're stupid to throw away the money, you know. For as long as you live, you'll never make so much for doing so little. Okay, I'm stupid. He turned and started toward the parking lot. What about the packages on the boat? I said. What do you do with them? What packages? The red ones, the ones I've been storing. His eyes widened. You still have those? Yeah, I said. How many of them? I've got all of them. How many is all? 12. I counted them today. Wow, that's 60 pounds minimum, maybe 100 pounds. What's in them? And they're all on your boat? I nodded. Yeah, now will you tell me what's in them? He shook his head. I told you, I don't know what's in them. And I don't want to know, and you don't either. So what do I do with them? If the police come back. I already told you, he said, interrupting. That was completely routine. New regulations went into effect, that's all. If I thought there was any chance the cops were on to you, do you think I'd be standing around talking to you? How dumb would that be? I don't care if it was routine. If somebody doesn't pick up those packages, I'm going to throw them away. Don't do that, he said. Whatever you do, don't do that. These people, you don't want to mess with them, he paused. Give me a little time. I'll find out what's going on. He started toward the parking lot and had gone down about 20 feet when he turned back. Don't use this path to get back. Follow the tracks south and find another one. Why? Just do it. What are you afraid of? I'm not afraid of anything. I'm just careful. I followed the railroad tracks south, just like he said. I didn't find a decent path until I reached the bridge near 61st Street. As I headed down the trail that led back to the street, I saw an old sleeping bag and jacket and a piece of plastic that was strung up like a tent. I felt as if I'd seen it all before, and then I remembered the guy I'd pushed to the ground. This had been his home.